So today we're going to be talking about stem cells, just kind of what they are and what they're capable of doing. So stem cells are a brand new field of medicine, but to understand what a stem cell is, we first have to look at what a human cell is. So we have this human cell, and this human cell, humans actually have 220 different types of cells. These different types of cells they include skin cells, even brain neurons, brain cells. It's a type of cell. What stem cells are is they're sort of a pre-cell. So you take the stem cell and it can actually grow into these different types of cells. The other thing about stem cells is they do something called they differentiate. What this means is that you have one stem cell, and this stem cell divides into two stem cells, and then each stem cell divides into two different stem cells, and so you have this exponential growth of these stem cells. And that, coupled with the different types of stem cells, means you can take a stem cell and with the proper nutrients grow it into basically whatever type of cell and however many of them you actually need. Theoretically, that is. So one source of stem cells are embryonic stem cells, which you take from the human embryo, as the name suggests. So you have the human embryo very early in its development, and you take the stem cells from it. The issue with this, though, is that it does kill the human embryo. But very recently, actually, in 2007, to be correct, the first human iPSCs were discovered. iPSCs stand for induced pluripotent stem cells. What happens here, essentially, is that you have a cell, and instead of going in the usual direction of taking a stem cell and it goes into a regular cell, they're actually able to reverse the process and take the regular cell and make it into a stem cell. What this means also is that these stem cells are literally part of the human that the patient that they're taken from. So issues such as rejection of foreign objects are not seen because it's literally part of that human. And actually, to talk about an example where stem cells were used today, in 2012, the New York Times reported about a man who had a tumorous windpipe, and it caused many issues for him. But using stem cells, they actually grew him a new windpipe, and they took the new windpipe and replaced it. Stem cell research, though, it's not without its issues. And some of the issues that we see are that when you take the stem cell and you have this exponential growth, it's literally exponential growth and it keeps growing. And so you'll have an excess of cells, which is a tumor. And so with this tumor, it creates a lot of issues. As well, the body is prone to rejecting foreign objects, so when you would use like embryonic stem cells, those could possibly be rejected, but iPSCs solve that problem, but you still do have the issue of tumors. And so more research is being done on how to stop tumors from forming. So when I was doing research, I also found a site called StemGenics. There's quite a few different companies and agencies that are working on developing stem cells, but StemGenics is working on quite a few different things, but I'll talk about three things that they plan to do. One of these is curing Alzheimer's. So in Alzheimer's, draw a brain there, brainstem. So in Alzheimer's, you'll have this damaged area of tissue within the brain. But with stem cells, the plan is you take the stem cell and you grow it into new healthy brain tissue, and so you're able to replace that. Another use of stem cells is treating osteoarthritis. So actually, we'll draw a knee to give an example. Dr. Hemphill's knee surgery just happening. So we have knee, and so usually you have cartilage right here. like in between the knee. But with osteoarthritis, or just in general, throughout the body, the cartilage within joints wears away. And so artificially, different polymers and things are implanted to solve this problem. But with stem cells, the hope is that you'll be able to take a stem cell and you'll be able to grow it in to new cartilage and take this new cartilage and put it in in the joint, effectively solving the problem with a natural thing that the body won't have issues with since it's of its own tissue. Finally, another future hope of treatment that exists is treating Parkinson's disease. What happens with Parkinson's disease is, well, one of the things that happens is you have bad dopamine receptors. So usually you have dopamine sending across the brain, it's recepting, it's a chemical neurotransmitter, but with Parkinson's disease you lack a lot of the times the dopamine. But again, using stem cells, you can take the stem cell and you can grow it in to these dopamine receptors, and then these dopamine receptors will be grown, and then hopefully that'll solve the problem. But stem cells in general are an ever-expanding field that have very limitless potential, and we still know so little about them. So, I mean, who knows? The possibilities are limitless.